Right then. All right. Um, as you can see, I'm in the van here. Getting ready to roll out. I didn't make a video this morning on the screen porch because time got away from me, and I was scrambling to get out the door so I could get to work on time. I'll tell you what, man, I just never want to leave. You know, I wish I could retire. That's all. There's a lot of financial gurus and advisors and stuff on YouTube that tell you that you should retire at 62, and they outline the reasons why, and they outline how to do it. I might add that informative knowledge to my list of educational information that I ingest, because every day that goes by and I sit out on that screen porch, I just don't want to come in here. I mean, I love what I do, right? But I'm over it. And who knows how much time any of us have left. Whether it's our own clock that winds down, or Yahweh comes back for the rapture, which is, all the signs are lining up for that to happen during my lifetime. Yeah. Wow. That one tasted like wet dog. What the hell? That's a little better. Anyway, so yeah, yesterday I was in a funk. Just getting overwhelmed with all that I have on my plate. And I've been making videos about it, right? Crying in my beer. But the fact of the matter is, I still got to deal with it, and it looks like I pretty much have to deal with it on my own. Yeah. So that means I better grab myself by the bootstraps and formulate a game plan, and get her done. One of the members of the peanut gallery that watches my videos chimed in this morning and tried to offer help. They can't help me physically, which is what I really need, but they can help me with their ideas on how I should do things. And in this person's infinite wisdom, I should just slap the cabinets together, get the place up for sale, and make it somebody else's problem. That's their formula for success on the trailer. As far as camp goes, same thing. Slap it up for sale. Don't worry about any of the buildings or any of the infractions that I'm committing. Make it the next person's problem. Now, there's a major flaw in that philosophy. Granted, they're concerned because I'm hemorrhaging money. You know, every month I pay $410 a month for lot rent for the trailer, even though I'm not living there. Every year I got to pay $1,000 membership dues for the homeowners association thing up at camp, even though I'm not using camp. So that's where they're coming from, which is all fine and dandy, right? But here's the big problem. If I try to sell a turd, I'm not going to be able to sell it. What's going to happen is prospective buyers are going to come in. They're going to look at the trailer and they're going to go, wow, this is nice. Yeah, impressive, nice craftsmanship. Well, wait a minute. What the hell's with the kitchen? It's only 3/4 of the way done. I can't live like this. No, bye. Most people that come into a trailer home living situation are down on their luck, low income. That's why I've had people offer to set up a rent to own situation, because they can't pony up the money to just buy the thing outright, and they don't have any credit, so they can't go to a bank and get a loan to buy the thing outright. So their only option is to strike up a banking deal with the seller, and maybe the seller will bite. Every single rent-to-own situation I've ever heard of has failed miserably and has turned into a logistical nightmare. That situation is so rife with potential problems that you'd be a fool to do it. The people start slacking on their house payment. All of a sudden, I gotta play tough guy, and I gotta get on them and try to squeeze blood from a turnip. In other words, get money from somebody who doesn't have money. Time goes by, they don't pay their mortgage, essentially. Now I gotta start legal proceedings to try to get them out of there. In this day and age, according to Lisa, the park owner, that's not so easy to do. Believe it or not, squatters, as they're called, people living for free in somebody else's building, actually have rights. And it makes it very hard to evict them, especially if that squatter has a veteran status or is disabled. Oh yeah. The liberal government that was trying to take over was trying to push something called eminent domain, meaning what's yours is everybody's. Yeah, we can come in, people can come in, they can get into your house, they can live in your house. That's decent humanity. You're providing housing at your expense for the downtrodden and less fortunate. In most cases, it's bottom feeders. People looking for free handouts. Damn, do I know a lot of those. Anyway, I digress. So, doing a rent-to-own is bullshit. And then, it all starts out yuck and roses. When it falls apart, and now you got to play tough guy and come after them to get your money, and then that doesn't work, because you get excuses and you can't get blood from a turnip. Now you got to start eviction proceedings. Well, now you poke the bear. So now these people, if they're forced to exit, are going to trash your place out of revenge. And now I got to start all over again, remodeling a turd. Never going to do a rent to own. But here's the big kicker with this peanut gallery members' advice. Just slap the cupboard doors on and sell it. I'm going to turn away so many prospective buyers because that kitchen is a disastrous shit show and it's not finished. People are going to come in, and those people might not be handy. They don't have money to put into finishing a remodeling project. Their husband can't swing a hammer, and they can't afford to hire a contractor to finish the job. So they're going to walk in, they're going to look at the place. Oh, wow, this place is cool. But the kitchen's a mess. And they're going to walk away. Yep. The same thing's going to happen with camp. This person's advice was just sell camp with the buildings and everything and make it the next person's problem. Let them deal with the HOA rules and repercussions. What? There again, people are going to come in, they're going to see the property, they're going to see the buildings. I have to disclose to them that no, this is a no-no. I was grandfathered in. I've gotten away with it for 20 years. You're new. You're going to have to abide by the new rules that have been drafted up since I owned the place that said I could have the stuff. You're going to have to get rid of all this to comply with the HOA, and they're going to walk away. Yep. They don't want to deal with that. This person said, they can take the gamble, see if they can get away with it. Nobody wants to do that, especially somebody that's buying recreational property. They're not risky people. They're not, they're not daredevils and shit like that. They're calm, collected. They got their shit together. They're fiscally responsible, which means they're responsible, which means they would want to not have the responsibility of living on the edge of getting caught with some not permissible buildings on their land. You know what I mean? They're going to walk in, look at it, and walk away. I will be turning away prospective buyers, and there's really not that many prospective buyers out there. I was talking to Lisa this weekend, and she said she's not getting a lot of hits on the trailer that's for sale across the street from me. She's getting some looky-loos, but nobody's really wanting to commit. So I gotta have all my ducks in a row and my I's dotted, my T's crossed, so that if I do get a single mother with a child that comes into my building, low income, looking for a place to call home, she can literally just move in and live. Yeah, she doesn't have to, oh shit, this kitchen's a shit show. I gotta find somebody to help me get it finished, and no. So this person's advice is all wrong, which is why I don't listen to advice very often. I usually know best. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Um, what else? The reishi mushrooms. I uh, I put them in a dehydrator last night, but I put the dehydrator out on the screen porch and I let it run all night. I didn't check them this morning, but I did that for a reason. Some mushrooms, when you dehydrate them, the, through the process of dehydrating them, the dehydrator generates heat and airflow. It has a fan and a small wattage heating element in there, and that's what evaporates the water out of the mushrooms, right? Some mushrooms, when they're dehydrating, they really smell mushroomy, like a musty mushroom smell. And I don't care for that. When I dehydrated that big batch of chicken in the woods I got, oh, it stunk up my place so bad. I was running that thing overnight and I almost couldn't sleep. It was so bad. And I don't like that smell. I love the smell of cooking mushrooms, but dehydrating ones, hell no. So I put the dehydrator out on the porch. And I didn't check them this morning to see, but it's really humid today. And so now that dehydrator's got to fight the humidity in the air, plus trying to dry out the mushrooms. So it should be interesting to see what happens. But I'm hoping they dry hard like a brick, but still retain their shape and their color so that I can use them as a display piece. But I will more than likely have to spray them with a clear, glossy lacquer once they're dry to seal them up so that they don't absorb any more humidity from the air and then get soft again and possibly rot. So I got to preserve them, essentially. Yeah. What else? Mia was being weird yesterday. Don't know what's going on there. This isn't lighting for shit. It's too humid. So I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully today's different. But she's staying aloof and distant when I know for a fact that she wants back on the lake house bandwagon big time. And she wants back with the great one. So I don't like these games that women play, make you dance through rings of fire, and yeah, I don't know if it's a control thing or what the hell it is, but I'm not a fan. Neither is Squatch. We were talking about it yesterday morning. He's like, why can't anybody be real? I go, I know, right? So, all right, what did I say I have today? 5 calls, 2 of them I'm putting on parts, 3 of them are diagnostics. They're all pretty much nice. It's located around me, so I don't have a lot of drive time. My first call here is a little bit of drive time, but after that, it's all right in my new hometown region. And then the last one's ending up here where the shop is. So it should be a relatively normal day. I think what I'm going to do when I get home is try to get something done. Yeah. I got to open up. If I'm going to clear out camp, the sheds at camp, I got to open up that garage a little bit more to be able to store more stuff temporarily until it finds a home. So I've got that front load washing machine and dryer sitting in there that needs a thorough cleaning, and I've got a metal rack from a restaurant that needs to be pressure washed. So I might dig out the pressure washer when I get home and go at some of that stuff, get that cleaned up. I had the washing machine and dryer for Mia. I'll talk to her today about it and see if she still wants me to switch out from top loaders to front loaders. Ugh. I hate front loaders. They don't clean your clothes. They just slosh them around in soapy water, relying on the soap to get them clean when clothes get clean from scrubbing, not tumbling. It's ridiculous. So many of my customers complain. Yeah, I went from a top loader with a center agitator post to a front loader, and now my clothes are dingy. They don't come clean. The stains don't come out. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's bullshit. So maybe I can convince her that what I have we can keep. So that's pretty much it. I guess we'll talk to you soon.